Blindness by Jose Saramago. The only thing more terrifying than blindness is being the only one who can see. Jose Saramago was born in Portugal in 1922 and was the first Portuguese to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1998. He worked as a mechanic, translator, journalist, and novelist. He is considered Portugal's most influential novelist. Blindness was written in Portuguese in 1995 and translated to English by Giovanni Prontero. Saramago died in 2010. Summary. Imagine you are in the middle of watching this video and suddenly you go blind. You can't see anything and everything looks milky white to you. No color, no shape, just milky white. Now imagine you're driving a car in the middle of a busy road and suddenly you go blind. That's how this novel begins. A healthy 38-year-old man finds himself blind in his car in the middle of the road. With the help of a good Samaritan, he is brought to his house. The kind man is not so kind. He steals the blind man's car, but worse still, he is infected with blindness himself. The first blind man, or the patient zero, visits a hospital and then infects others, so blindness spreads throughout the city. The doctor too goes blind, and the story focuses on the doctor and his wife. They are quarantined together, but the doctor's wife, who isn't blind, feigns blindness to be with her husband and quarantined with the blind. They are left to their own device. They are like in the wild. They have to fend for themselves and survive. Soon more blind people arrive in the room to create a repressive air. Food shortage causes some thugs to control the supply and exploit others by exchanging food for jewelry or even sex. At some point, the rape and extortion forces the doctor's wife, who still can see, to murder one of the thugs. Finally, when a fire breaks out in the building, the doctor's wife, the doctor, and a few others escape. They realize that they have been abandoned. In the city, they search for food and shelter. There is chaos everywhere. Finally, this goes for a while until a miracle happens. Everyone suddenly gets their sights back. But the experience of blindness epidemic has changed the city and its inhabitants. Now I'll talk about some of the themes of the novel. Bleak view of humans. When I first started reading this novel, my mischievous side was hoping for some comedy, chaos that will ensue as a result of everybody going blind. But as I read more, it became darker and darker. I was a bit disappointed. I enjoy dark satire more than hopeless darkness. It is somewhat similar to Cormac McCarthy's The Road, that shows humans nothing but selfish and the world nothing but bleak. Saramago was a member of the Portuguese Communist Party. Perhaps he got his bleak view of humans after his disillusionment with the working class failing to revolt. In a sequel called Seeing, Saramago takes his fight with voters not choosing anyone in an election and the government panicking how to deal with blank votes. This novel too shows how useless the government and authorities are in their dealing with the epidemic. The confined space for all these blind people crammed together is heartbreaking. You feel claustrophobic, but also the way the book is written without any chapter break. At one point, the doctor's wife starts weeping and the doctor asks if she has gone blind, and she says no. She cries because she forgot to wind her watch and doesn't know the time. Storytelling. The story is told in a third person by an omniscient narrator. Two things stand out immediately. First, characters have no names. Second, the novel has no chapters. Instead of name, characters are called by their jobs, like doctor, marital status, like the doctor's wife, or a defining trait, like the glass they wear or a criminal conviction. I think giving characters names forces the writer to draw better characters. Once you define a character by a social status or certain traits, you become lazy. For example, the criminal character is very flat and he predictably does bad things. The second thing is the lack of chapters. Reading experience a bit stifling. There's no break where you can breathe. Paragraphs are pretty long, like huge concrete blocks of a brutalist architecture style without any windows. The best thing about the book is the premise of everyone going blind in a city. It immediately grabs your attention. I was hoping for a more lighter story of satire, but it gets darker and darker to the point you see nothing, thus blindness. Blindness. A while ago, I read a short story by Raymond Carver called Cathedral, about a simple working-class man who meets a blind man for the first time in his life. His ignorance about blind people makes the story very suspenseful. During dinner, they drink and smoke together. By the end, they decide to draw a cathedral together with his eyes closed. With eyes closed, he can finally see. He's liberated from his prejudice. I discussed Carver's short story in my video on American fiction. Jose Saramago turns things upside down. Instead of a few blind people, he makes everyone blind and only one person can see, the doctor's wife. In the city of the blind, one-eyed person is a king, the saying goes, except that she is not. It never occurs to her that she can exploit others. She can if she wants to, but instead she helps others. Before you say it's a feminist novel because some men are terrible in this novel, I think her love for her husband that wins at the end. If you love someone deeply, you will remain good and make sacrifices. Nature is dark. The novel is trying to tell us being blind brings our true colors. The epidemic causes some nasty things. When people see you, you are afraid of being judged, so you try to normalize your behavior. But as soon as you think nobody notices you, you follow your darker instincts. As Jean-Paul Sartre said, hell is other people. Nocturnal animals only come out once it's dark. In cities, we normalize and conform every day, but in solitude, we act more freely. When we see others, we please others and they please us. Also, human eyes are neither the best nor the worst in nature. Some animals see better than us. Even if you're not blind, we are blind when it comes to certain things, because if you see certain things, you will miss some other things. Also, we see things that are near us. We hear or see terrible things like war, poverty, inequality, injustice, and many more all around the world. But we don't bother to do anything about them. We turn a blind eye to those things that are far away. We only fully understand poverty if we experience it ourselves. Okay, if I were to write this novel, I would start with the same premise, everyone going blind. However, I would not depict savagery of human beings because it's a bit cliched now. I would make the protagonists those people who are blind before the epidemic, like blind people from birth. The dynamic between new blinds and the old blinds make a better narrative and insightful, I think. Or I would introduce a curtain maker who is out of job because nobody buys curtains or blinds anymore. Or focus on how humans adapt with the new situation with more ingenuity rather than killing and raping each other. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.